What's up, my gun whores? There are two things in this world that I do not like, and those are basic bitches and basic guns. This right here is my P365 SAS. This is the new grip module that I wanted to go to because there are two things that I don't like. So let's jump right on into this. Let's go ahead and clear these weapons, make sure they're safe. This one obviously doesn't have anything in it, but we'll go ahead and clear this one just to be safe. You drop the mag, empty mag. All the bullets are over here. Let's rack it. We're clear, we're all safe. Now, the biggest difference between the P365 standard and the SAS version is this one is the Sig anti-snag system. So all of the typical iron sights are flush mounted. There's actually no front iron sight. It's all handled by, and it's going to be hard to see on camera, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get it, but there's a fiber optic here. You look down the end of the barrel here, and you're able to see the fiber optic cable, and that allows you to actually aim down sights. Also, on this particular gun, these have been smoothed out so that it doesn't snag on clothing or anything like that when you're unholstering or pulling out the pistol from either a pocket or your inner waistlining. So that will be the two biggest differences. So these are smooth. Now on this particular weapon, this one here has the grip module down here that does not have a lip because this one doesn't need one. It's easier to operate without the lip. Now, on the new module, which makes this harder to do on most SAS models as opposed to the standard 365, this one has a lip because on the standard 365, this slide catch on here will automatically be a little bit further out, so it's easier to manipulate during the firing of the gun. Now, that's going to require me to use one extra step in this process that I wouldn't normally have to use if you're using a 365 regular handgun, but let's get into it right now, okay? So first things first, let's go ahead and get this locked back in its safe position for the slide. That's us pulling this bad boy back, pushing that up. I will not be able to do this on this weapon, on this module here, and I'll show you how to get around that in a minute. Now, I'm going to take this tool. It's all anti-purpose tools. Got a knife. It's got some pliers on the end of it, which I absolutely like and will actually be using in this episode here. It's got some different items and odds and ends, which you can find pretty much at any eBay, Amazon, wherever you decide to shop for hunting equipment. So let's go ahead and get ready to take this bad boy apart. We've already got this slide locked back. Now this grip module, I bought it directly from Sig itself. As you can see right there is a genuine Sig Sauer grip module. I'll put the price down here below so that way you can see exactly what that costs. Now, first things first, we're going to go ahead and lock it back in this position. All right, then we're going to take one of the flat heads and we're going to take down the slide catch release, which is just by turning this bad boy at a 90-degree angle. Boom. Once it's slid at a 90-degree angle, you can take the slide, pull back. There we go. Slide, pull back, should release. So yeah, slide, pull the slide back. After it's in the catch, release the slide, and it should just come straight down like that. Now, you don't have to take apart the rest of the stuff that's inside of the barrel or anything like that. That's not necessary for this. Now, one of the best things that Sig did with this particular gun is they serialized the trigger portion of this bad boy. So by serializing the trigger portion of this bad boy, it allows you to make the trigger portion of it the actual gun, and that's the serialized part. That's what allows me to be able to just instantly swap these out without having to re-register the gun or anything like that. Now, in order to get this part out, there are these pins in the rear. It does not matter how it comes out, doesn't matter how it goes back in. Just as long as you get those pins out is all that matters. So the next step, I'm going to go ahead and take the knife end portion, or you can use a punch, whichever one you got. I'm going to take it to the edge of the table, hold it down, and then like I said, this little piece here is what we're actually taking out. This little piece here, it's hard to see, but all we're gonna do is just punch that straight out, okay? So that's all I'm doing, is taking this here, the knife, getting a good bead on it, and just pushing straight down. All right, and you should have heard it. It'll click out of there. Once it clicks out of there, boom, you'll be able to see it sticking up a little bit on this end here. It's sticking out. So I'll take my next tool, then my handy dandy toolkit, my utility belt, take that piece there and just pull it straight out. Again, does not matter how it goes back in. It is universal, so it looks the exact same on both sides. Drop that there. Now, your trigger piece here, okay? We're just going to rock it backwards. All right, so from here, you rock backwards, so you can pull up from here, but it rocks backwards and out. Now, you've got your trigger separated from your first module. Now we're gonna put it in the last module. And everything else that we're doing is in the exact reverse order, except for slight one step, because this is again the SAS model. So this lip, and I might file it down later so that it looks exactly like that one, but this lip will hinder you from getting that operation properly. Doesn't make a difference when you're actually shooting the gun, but it does make a difference when you're actually putting the gun back together. So let's go ahead and put the gun back together in the opposite way that we took it apart. Boom, going to slide that in. That little slide release lever goes in. You just set it down, okay? Everything else goes in the exact opposite order. This little pin here goes in the back. Gonna push that in there, and then I just like to hammer that in, making sure that everything is right with the world. Yep, it is in on both sides. Great. So as long as it's flush, you should be good. I mean, you can tug on it just to make sure, but I never had any issues with taking that part out. Next, the fun part. Let's go ahead and close this boy back up. Now we're going to take back out our flathead tool that we're going to use. Boom. Again, make sure that this safety, not safety, but make sure that this piece here, which requires a bit of manipulation, is turned. So you're going to want to try to get your nail in here, because like I said, with that little piece in the way, it's going to make it difficult. So get your nail in there, pull up on that slide release, turn that direction, release the slide release, and that should hold that a bit more than 90-degree turn. Take your slide, pull it straight back, boom. Now, in order to finish this and lock this in, you're going to have to, and this is where the difficult part again comes in, I'm going to take my knife portion. Again, this is only on the SAS model, okay? On the P365 standard, because this is easier to manipulate, this is easier to do. Next, I'm going to take this back just a little bit, rock it, I'll pull up on. So with this, you're going to take it, try to rock it back, and then you're just going to grip over to the point where you can get this slide lever to catch. Now again, this is the most difficult part for the 365, unfortunately. All right, once you get that slide reliever to release, sometimes you have to manipulate the slide however you can. Just push it all the way back, and then as long as you can get this slide lever to release into here, it'll automatically turn the slide lock. So now that it's locked in, rack it a few times just to make sure that it's safe. Still an empty magazine in there. Boom, we're locked in. And all right, so that right there is the, unfortunately not so simple way of taking your P365 SAS, turning it from this basic bitch here to this sexy bitch here. I mean, now granted, this is all personal preference. Me personally, I just don't like the look of the all black gun. I like to have some type of color contrast. So that's why I decided to go with this. When I bought this grip module, that it did not have the same capabilities of just being as easy to put together as this one is. But regardless of the fact, I figured out the roundabout ways, and hopefully you've learned a little something today about how to get around that as well. And this is it. But if you like what you've seen so far, please don't hesitate to hit the like and subscribe button. I'll catch you guys later. Later, gun horse.